Hello, welcome to Small Bites. I am your Srivashni, here to talk about a work done by author M. Mendi on prisoners, and psychology. When another person makes you suffer, it is because he suffers deeply within himself and his suffering is spilling over. He does not need punishment, he needs help. The living conditions of prisoners and under trails incarcerated in Indian prisons leave much to be desired. The sheer apathy and indifference shown to them by the society, the state authorities, and in some cases even their families tends to severely restrict the changes of these persons getting over their past and becoming productive citizens. This podcast is about the article written by Rudrakshi, and it is a keen research and personal experiences of the author who visits the Tihar jail during her internship at NALSA, National Legal Services Authority. This research done by Rudrakshi is an outcome of some personal views, experience, and opinion on forensic psychology as an important element for rehabilitation. The definition of forensic psychology is broad and narrow at the same time. It means the combined practice of psychology and law. If you have seen series such as Criminal Minds or The Mentalist, you will definitely get what and how forensic psychology works. A forensic psychologist helps in understanding the motive behind why a person would indulge in criminal activities or antisocial behavior. Forensic psychology is a relatively newer field of psychology, but its first seeds were laid in 1879 by the father of psychology, Wilhelm Wundt. In the year 1917, psychologist William Marston found that the systolic blood pressure could be used to determine when someone is lying. This was the foundation on which the present polygraph detector has been developed. Forensic psychology gained momentum after World War II because prior to that, psychologists served only as expert witnesses to those trials which did not infringe upon credibility of medical professionals. Only in 2001 did the American Psychological Association officially recognize forensic psychology as a specialization under the study of psychology. Since then, many students of psychology have done dual degrees in psychology and law because of its growing scope in analyzing the legal applications of law in such institutions. There is a high probability for a prisoner to be rearrested for committing a crime after getting released for completing his jail sentence. The probability of an ex-prisoner to get imprisoned again within 3 years since his release is a startling 68%. There have been cases where a man was arrested for domestic abuse, served his term, got released, and then killed his wife. So, does punishment serve any purpose after all? Punishment is a conventional and acceptable way for prisoners to repent for their wrongful actions. Criminals convicted of heinous crimes like rape, mob lynching, domestic and child abuse, murder, manslaughter, etc., should be dealt with an iron fist because research shows that most of these offenders do such acts either out of poor impulse control or some sort of psychiatric issue which has been never reported by them. Substance abuse and alcoholism also is a huge contributor to the rising rate of crimes, especially related to domestic abuse. But as many argue, is imprisoning them for a lifetime enough of a solution? How many from their numbers realize the consequences of their actions? As mentioned above, a few percent of the offenders commit crimes out of some kind of mental trigger caused by an unreported or undetected psychiatric issue, including schizophrenia, depression, etc. The lack of awareness of mental health and the stigma has been an issue which has had a snowball effect on the rising crime rate. Furthermore, many accused under trial get arrested for extreme but real acts of self-defense. The delay in bureaucratic systems unnecessarily makes such men and women suffer as well. I would like to read two stories told by prisoners. Well, it is not only by Indian prisoner but from around the world. So the first one is My family came to visit me on Christmas Day, the first year I was in. I was so ashamed that I had a little breakdown the next day and punched a cinder block wall inside myself. One of the guards invited me to come talk to him. I made the mistake of thinking he was a friend and was talking about the meaning of life and why things happened. He decided he thought I was suicidal, which I wasn't. The next day, I was shipped off to a maximum security prison in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Stripped down naked and given a Kevlar smoke to wear, they kept the temperature down at 60 degrees, which means that you have to stay huddled in a corner to conserve body heat. Because this was observation, I wasn't allowed to have nothing to read, watch, etc., naked and cold for an entire week. If you'd like to see what this is like, turn your thermostat down, then take all your clothes off and sleep on the floor of your bathroom with the light on for 6 days straight. No showering either. Wasn't offered a chance to clean myself. That's how I spent New Year's 2007. Observation is some kind of psychological treatment. It's punishment and mental torture. Sleeping and singing to yourself is all you can do. Too cold to do anything else. Brutal. Now I try to go out of the country for New Year's Eve every year. 8 months, so the next story. 8 months inside, and one instance always sticks out in my mind. I was running out of phone minutes and spending what precious time I had left talking to my child. We didn't get to talk as much as I liked. Had unfortunately more important people to talk to, lawyers trying to find jobs for my release, etc. This guy comes up, I need the phone. Hold on, man, I only got a couple minutes left. He takes the phone and slammed it into the payphone holster and abruptly hung up on my daughter. Still breaks my heart because I cherish every minute I can have with her. So, overall, to summarize, the prison system needs to understand the role of importance of professional social workers in prisons. The prison administrations should be professionally qualified social workers. Unless social workers are inducted into the prison system, thus place cannot convert its prisons into successful correctional institutions. Prisons may develop and progress in the rehabilitative work programs but cannot be true correctional institutions without the help of social work and psychology intervention. Unexpected emotions will never die. They are buried alive and will come forth later in uglier ways. The mind is like an iceberg. It floats with 1/7 of its bulk above water. I think I have spoke about something interesting and also something very pitiful today. I hope that right actions will be taken. Thank you and have a great day.